So this kid Pete or Peter Markson, um, like I said, we hooked up and we talked for a long time, and we actually made out. And then he went back to school and he told everybody, oh, he slept with me, which never happened. So I mean, again, freshman year, and this kid's a senior. So basically, he started making little remarks. Oh, I must have been drunk when I saw you. At one time, I ran into the nurses. I ran into him in the nurse's office, and I can't remember what he said, but I mean, he even caught the nurse off guard because when I left, she goes, Michelle, I'm really sorry about what he said. He shouldn't have said that. And at that point, I was just so overwhelmed. I was like, you know what, don't even worry about it because it's nothing new to me. And the look on her face was just nothing but sympathy and, what does this poor girl go through? I mean, because she kind of had an idea of what I went through at the time. So, I mean, that just like really took a lot out of me because apparently he went around the whole school telling everybody I slept with him, and I didn't. And the only reason why I know I didn't sleep with him is because the night that we made out, I actually had my period. So I know I didn't sleep with him that night. Or at all for that matter. But, in freshman year too, I also met this girl named Carla. And, we became fast friends. We had a couple of classes together. And we had a couple of rifts in our friendship. And it all came down when one guy that she was dating actually wanted to hook up with me. And we started becoming friends and hanging out. And she didn't like it. And she basically told us to stop. But we didn't because, we were friends at the time. So she ended up breaking up with him. And we started going out. But apparently that ended our friendship. But at the same time, she was starting to beat me up. She was starting to have me jumped. And I said, you know what? Do what you gotta do. Because I'm just tired of it. But the next 3 years, I mean, she made my life hell. Her name was Carla Ortiz. Carla Ortiz. She's married and in Dover right now. So apparently she's had a few relationships since high school. Mind you, I've been in 3 serious relationships. And it's funny how I'm in 3 serious relationships and yeah, I'm sleeping with 100 guys at the same time. It's just ridiculous. So, she made my life hell. She tried to have me jump. And she actually had people turn against me, which was unbelievable. This one girl named Renata, who actually transferred to my middle school, who I helped, get into the groove of things in school and had her meet new people and, so she can, have an easy transition. She actually turned against me because of Carla. And I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding. Renata Patrick, that was her name. So, it's funny because I'm the one that's, apparently sleeping with all these guys and, this, that, and the other. Yeah, Carla was dating Eric. That was the guy's name that kind of ended our friendship. Carla was dating Eric, but yeah, had a boyfriend in Honduras who she was so crazy in love with, but would never cheat on him or, would hope that one day he would come so she could break up with Eric and, be with him and whatever the case. Renata, who turned against me, was found under the stairs making out with a kid in school and only got caught because the bell rang and her and this kid came out from behind the stairs. Okay, I'm the slut, people. Come on. So it was just ridiculous. And I mean, at one point, when we were doing the sexual education classes, you remember those in high school? Oh my God, what a big deal those were. So we had to write down. We had a project. We had to be teamed up. And unfortunately, I was on the same team with Carla. So we had to all be teamed up and write down. We had to write something on walls and blackboards and big pieces of paper and whatnot. And I think one of the questions was, name an STD or, something along that line. So, Renata was also in the class, but she was on a different group. But she just diligently walks up to Carla and says, well, you want to name an STD, just put down Michelle's name. And Carla looked at me like, did she really just say that in front of you? And Renata, I guess, didn't realize I was standing right there. So, it took me everything I had to refrain myself from just jumping the bitch at that point. I was pissed off. So, I went through hell. I even got to the point where I told my mom I wanted to leave school. I would have gone for my GED, because the district that I went to, they had adult night classes and they had GED classes that you go to. I told my mom I want out, because you have no idea. My mother wouldn't believe me. Apparently my mother was hearing the same rumors I was hearing, but I've either just didn't want to face the problems or was believing them, because there were even times where she was even confronting me about things she was hearing. And it was just like, I can't anymore. It was like, at one point, I feel bad for saying it, because people have done it, but at one point I just wanted to end everything, and I just didn't want to be around, and I didn't want to face another day, because life is just so bad. And at the same time, I mentioned Eric, and I was with him on almost my entire high school career, from the end of freshman year till the, middle to end of senior year, I was with him. And on top of everything else, I had to deal with his abuse, because he was emotionally and mentally and physically abusive. And, I tried everything I could to, make my life better, and it's just like every time I turned around, I had, something slap me in the face. It was just like, you've got to be kidding, I got to go through all this shit again. But luckily I made a few good friends. Unfortunately Janie moved. If Janie was there, Janie probably would have been my rock. Janie probably would have told me, just keep your head up high, because, a lot of people know that I wasn't the way that people thought I was, but at the same time, I had all these friends, and, not a lot of friends, but I had friends in school who I thought, were cool and awesome, and, I'm finding out years later, I'm even finding out as recent as a couple of months ago, or maybe even a month ago, that a lot of these people were stabbing me in the back, talking behind my back. They'd be like, oh yeah, you're cool and you're awesome, and don't worry about what people say, and then they're stabbing me back because they're saying the same things other people are saying. It was just horrible. Am I going to sit here and tell you that that's hard. I can't sit here and tell you that high school is all it's chopped up to be, because it really isn't. You got all your cliques. You got the beautiful people, you got the jocks, you got the nerds, you got the goths, and, one way or another. And then you got the people in between, which is pretty much where I felt, because I wasn't any part of those. So, basically, depending on if you fall into one of those groups, or if you're just that one person in the middle, you can either make high school or any part of school easy for you, or, just let people rag on you and let it get hard. But the best thing I can tell you, especially now with this day and age, with YouTube and Facebook and MySpace and, whatever else is out there, just keep to yourself, keep to your friends. If you see your friends are starting to pull away for whatever reason, just let it go, because it's not worth it. Because I'll tell you right now, the smallest little thing will be turned into a huge spectacle if it's found on the internet. Trust me, I know. And, well, I shouldn't say I know personally. I'm talking, I know because I'm hearing all the stories on the news. Tyler Clementi committed suicide, and then you had all these people, all these girls beat up this one girl in Florida a couple of years ago, and where does it end, really? I'm I try to say, I was just sitting here the other day, and I'm thinking, God, what if we had the internet, the way it is now? What if we had that when I was back in school? Would people make mock videos of me, or would they cyberbully me, or how would all this work out? Because I sit here and I think, God, especially now that I've gained so much weight, and I am the way I am, which is not a bad thing, but just the way I am right now, would it come back and haunt me again over and over and over? So it's like, what can you do, So for those of you who are being bullied, you need to speak up. You need to say something, whether it's to your parents or a teacher or the principal or maybe a friend. Even if you have to go to the police, and get their attention, maybe somebody can help you. Say something, because unless you make things better for yourself, things will get worse. For those who are bullies, trust me, if you're picking on somebody for whatever reason, something's not right in your life. And trust me, it will come back and bite you in the ass. And that's the only thing that I can hope for some people. But you know what? I'm living proof that life goes on and things can get better. I have a wonderful husband right now. I have my family who, although they don't talk to each other, I'm still the one that talks to everybody, and I do my best to get along with everybody. I have my few friends. Janie is my best friend in the world. Kim and Bonnie, and I just met up with an old friend, Tina, from school. And you just got to do what you got to do for yourself. That's all I can say. And I'll admit, the memories from school come back and they haunt me, and sometimes they really break me down, but all you can do is just pick yourself back up. That's all you can do. Okay, so I'm going to sign off because it is very late. Well, I shouldn't say it's very, very late for my time, but I am very tired. And I got a lot to do because it is Mother's Day, and in a few hours, I gotta be at Grandma's house giving her presents. So I'm hoping my mom and my sister got their presents in the mail today and open them tomorrow, because I really would like to know. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so I will talk to you soon. Have a good Mother's Day and enjoy every moment you can. If you're a mother, or if you're a daughter or a son or a foster child or a stepchild, just enjoy the day as much as you can. So, okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend. Later.